Hi. Hi, welcome to Raj and I. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the policy life cycle. So it's not only about the policy part. So even we will discussing about the high level view over the billing as well as the claims and all, etc. In reference to the policy life cycle on a high level note, so wherein this can be divided into multiple parts, wherein the first one majorly explains is about the kind of policyholder information in reference to the policy coverages, whatever we normally have, followed by the details where we need to understand in the context of submission part. So wherein the first one, wherein we can see over here. So in context to the existing one, where we need to mention about the kind of quotation in reference to the policy part. So whatever the quotations do we want to submit. So all these quotations and all everything will be submitted over here. This is what generally the first one, which is called submit, right? So quotation and all everything will be submitted in reference to the policy part. Once quotation was submitted, wherein all this information will be appeared on the policy information screen, wherein you can see, right? So wherein we have to update the address details, right? At the same time, details over about the navigator part, right? So all this information has to be. So whatever is related to the policy information in reference to the policies, what is that we have quoted and submitted so far? So that information will be updated over the policy information screen. So after that, this can be classified, and this will be classified into two different parts. Here we have to mention about the kind of quote. Generally, this quotation will also be varied on two different things. One is promote quote, where we have to mention about the kind of pending policy information, whatever we are having here, or else we need to promote the information relating to the activities of the policy, all that. Or else there is another option where if you are creating a new policy in reference to the new policy, what is that are we going to create? This new policy information will also be updated here equally. Once the policy information was updated over here, here is a billing part, where in this billing, wherein we need to mention about the balance due, whatever the balance due in reference to the billing, what is that we have. Followed by this, there is some account information which we have to be updated sequentially, right? So whatever the account information we have, whether in reference to the payments, right? So all that information has to be updated over here in this. At the same time, this is majorly used for the used to ensure the kind of payment what we have made into the existing policy, what is that we have created. But also we have to make sure to avoid whatever the policy cancellations and all everything has to be seen. So this is the first level view. Wherein the second level view in reference to the billing part, as I mentioned earlier, in context to the billing, what is that we see? There has to be endorsement must happen. This endorsement as well as active pay policy information, whatever are we going to endorse here. At the same time, we have to submit the transactions for the endorsement, whatever are we about to submit. So based on that, generally there will be an endorsement which will be taken place where we have to increase the premium images, right? So we need to know about the status of it, right? So pending part, right? So all that information will be explained under the endorsement part. So once endorsement, the next was about rate, right? So we have to endorse the kind of whatever the active policy rate we have, followed by this if there is any kind of policy history which was already existed in the history part. So that information can also be seen over here, the rate and issues, all that. Next one about billing information, right? Whatever the billing are we going to perform, right? So we have to provide all the account information relating to the payments, right? So whatever the payment are we going to do for the billing and all everything will comes under this. So this is the first where we have to see all the quotation. You can see over here. Let me, yeah, this is the first part which normally we do. After that, the second one about the billing part, right? So this is about the billing part. What is that we have discussed? Please do remember, this is in high level information which I'm going to explain over here. So afterwards, the third one, which is called the claim part. So this is what generally the claim part was. Where in this claim part, we have to submit the claims, whatever the related claims and all everything will be submitted over here. So this is where generally this submission of claims and all everything will be taken, right? So whatever the submissions of claims, all that. At the same time, we have to add this to the add claimant because before, whenever we have submitted this to the claim, so normally it will be going to the claim scrubber, to the clearing houses, all that. So we have to add this to the claimant. In this, we need to add features and all that. So whatever the related features and relevant and as well as related features relating to the coverages, all that information has to be updated subsequently here. Next, we have to add this to the transaction history so that whatever the related transactions we have received and all everything will be updated over here in this transaction part. So once we have added this into the transaction part, the next is about policy received, where we have to mention about the active policy information, where whatever the transaction of the policy was renewed or because two things. One is about the manual process and automation process. Of course, this policy life cycle in automation process, which we designed so far, so that the policy renewals and all everything will happen based on the particular date, what is that we have mentioned. Subsequently, policy will be renewed, right? So on the particular date. At the same time, we can see the original endorsement policy history. So this is important, wherein we can see about over that. At the same time, we can see even about the policy versions, what are the claims, as well as the kind of changes, what is that we have made so far. All this can be seen over here. So this is what completely a policy life cycle information, how this happens in reference to property and casualty insurance, which is called PNC, all that, right? So PNC insurance, how the claim processing will be taken place, how the policy center life cycle as well as the flow. I have explained you about the flow process so that people who wants to learn more about policy life cycle and all will have a knowledge over. It's a complete overall understanding on a high level note, which I have explained you in reference to the policy center, billing followed by the claims, all that. So this is all about this video. If you have any questions in regard to that, or if you have any coaching or consulting or training needs, do you have all that? So please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.